Hi, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science, First Center. This is our Louise Hay self-healing class. Many of you are here on Zoom, so whether you're with us live or catching the replay or tuning in for the very first time, please know that your presence here is important to us. It's sacred, and that you're deeply appreciated. You've created this moment for yourself, a moment to pause, a moment to reflect, a moment to nurture your inner healing. So let's all together take a deep breath. Let's inhale peace, the idea of peace. Let's bring it into our body and exhale any tension or worry from the day. Many of you I see are still signing in. If you have your computers, your devices, you can put in the chat where you're from or if you're new. And we do have time after the lesson is over for personal sharing. So stay with us. Let's see if I want to see in our chat how far our circle is expanding. I've been noticing a few new countries this past week. So from New York City to homes and hearts around the world, our gathering is intended to create a space where healing happens together. Let's start today or this evening with an opening affirmation. As we begin, I invite you to hold this affirmation in your heart. I am here to experience healing, growth, and transformation. That's the affirmation. I am here to experience healing, growth, and transformation. So you might say that to yourself. I'm here to experience healing, growth, and transformation. Now, feel those words, bring them into your body, to your being. Let them be like seeds planted in the soil. Healing happens here because healing begins with us. And that's the title of today's lesson. Healing happens here. So before we get into the lesson, this transformative lesson, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude to all of you who support this work through all your posting on Facebook, YouTube, X, and wherever you post in our behalf. Thank you. For those of you who are joining our YouTube channel, that means a lot to us. It helps us in our growth. And for those of you who are supporting our work financially, thank you, thank you. We've received some new checks from some new people, so I want to thank you for your support, and I want to thank those of you who support us regularly. No matter if it's small or large, it doesn't make any difference. It's the energy that goes with it. It's the intention. It's your heart. It's your love, and you're all appreciated. And most of all, your presence here is the most important thing. Staying with it, staying the course. We're all doing the work, each and every one of us. I can see the changes in many people each week as I listen and as I read all the commentary. So once again, thanks. So let's take a moment to settle into our sacred space, the space that we have created together. I invite you to close your eyes if you can, if it's safe, if it feels comfortable, and take a deep breath, a grounding breath. Let it go in and out. Breathe in the golden light. Imagine that. It's often talked about. Breathe in healing energy. And as you exhale, imagine releasing any tension you might have from this day, from this week, or even over the years. Let it all fall away like leaves that are carried in the wind. Now picture yourself standing in the middle of a wide and peaceful meadow. Notice the ground beneath your feet feels rich and alive and humming with energy. The air is fresh, the sunlight warm on your skin, and a gentle breeze whispering a message of renewal. This meadow represents your inner life, a space of infinite possibility, no matter what has come before. Around you, you notice there are patches of vibrant wildflowers blooming, beautiful, beautiful reminders of the growth and the love you have already cultivated. And in some places, you'll notice the soil looks tangled, overgrown with weeds, places where anger, grief, or old grievances have taken root. These weeds may feel heavy, familiar, and even stubborn. But here's the truth. They don't belong here anymore. They have served their purpose. You have outgrown them. It's time to gently pull them up and clear space for something new. With each weed, with each and every weed you release, feel the weight lifting from your heart in their place. Imagine yourself planting radiant seeds from the basket that is in your hands. These aren't ordinary seeds that you have. These are seeds that glow with the light of hope, forgiveness, courage, and renewal. As you plant them, a voice within you whispers, I am free, I am whole, and I am ready to begin again. Say to yourself, I'm free, I'm whole, and I'm ready to start. I'm ready to begin again. This is your sacred ground, and it's waiting for you. It's waiting to nurture. It's waiting for you to nurture it with love. Louise Hay often said, I'm not stuck because I can choose new thoughts. I'm not stuck because I can choose new thoughts. She knew that holding on to anger, resentment, or pain only keeps us tied to the past. It isn't about excusing what happened. It isn't about ignoring the hurt. It's about choosing freedom for yourself. So you might say to yourself, I choose freedom for myself. Louise taught us that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a way to clear the weeds and open your life to healing. She also reminds us that healing doesn't require perfection. It only asks for us to be willing. The 12-step programs would say willingness is the key that opens all the doors. So Louise is saying the same thing. Healing doesn't require us to be perfect. It only asks for us to be willing to take a step. Willingness to look at the places we've been holding on. Willingness to release what isn't working so well. And willingness to plant something better in its place. I'd like to share a little story that reflects this beautifully. A man came to one of the Louise Hay workshops who had many years of anger built up towards his father, years and years. He described it as something that burned in his heart, consuming him, all consuming, just taking away all of his energy and his joy. And Louise asked him, what would happen if you let it go? Can you imagine? And he said, I don't know. I don't even know if I let it go who I would be, because it's everything about me is about that. She said, when he said, I don't know who I'd be, Louise responded, you would be free is what you would be. So that's a strong message if we're hanging on to anything. Louise would say, you would be free if you let go of it. At first, the idea of freedom scared this gentleman, but Louise guided him in that series of questions to imagine his life without anger. Imagine your life without anger, without resentment. Imagine the freedom. Imagine yourself being without the weight of all of that. And by the end of that series of questioning in that workshop, he made a choice. It was a courageous choice. He didn't excuse what happened, but he did release his father from his heart once and for all. He said, I realized that I am the one that was keeping all of it alive. And it really did, at that point, it didn't have anything to do with his father. And he said, when I let go, I felt lighter, I felt clearer, and I felt free to begin again. And that's exactly what he did. So today, I want to ask everyone in our gathering, are there any weeds in your sacred ground? Maybe it's a little anger that you've carried towards someone or a situation for so long that it feels a part of you. Could be an old story, because many of us have many old stories. Old stories oftentimes are filled with pain or resentment or anger. Could be a grievance that keeps playing around like an old loop. So do you have any old tapes or old stories replaying in your mind? Because with these, there's emotions that, they may have felt justified once upon a time. And they might have even protected you at a different point in your life. But the question is, how is any of it helping you now? How is any of it helping you now? What would happen if you let them go? Whatever it is that's recycling and recycling and showing up and again, what would happen if you could let go of it? Imagine the freedom of setting them down once and for all, releasing the weight and stepping forward into the life that's waiting for you. Louise's message and my message is it's not too late. It's never too late. To start your day over, it's never too late. You are standing in a holy place. You are one with the one. Your sacred ground is ready. All it needs is your attention, your care, your love, and your willingness to start again, to begin again, to be here now. So let's take our exploration just a step further, a little deeper. We've talked about the sacred ground that we're standing upon, and we talked about clearing space, to making space for the joy and the beauty. So now we're moving into a deeper experience by realizing that the sacred energy is where? I talk about this every week in all the lessons. It's right here now. It's a presence. It's never an absence. And Louise would say, deep in the center of your being is this infinite presence, this well of love. So it's about understanding that this creative energy that we're often searching for outside of ourselves has never been absent. It's always been here with you, within you. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, said, there's power for good in the universe, and it's available to every one of us. So this power is in you, operating through you. It's available to you right now. It's the very same energy that sustains you. It moves through you and expresses as you. You, yes, you, one and all, are standing on holy ground, or sitting on holy ground, not because of where you are, but because of who you are. Again, that's such a beautiful idea. You're standing or sitting on holy ground, not because of where you are, but because of who you are. This energy, this creative intelligence, we call spirit, we call it source, or life itself, is always present, always ready to respond to your thinking, your thoughts, your intentions, and your willingness to embrace it. Healing happens not because we beg for it or that we wait for it. Healing happens because we align ourselves with this infinite flow of energy and love that's already operating in us, through us. So let's now bring that into our hearts. Let that fill us up, all that knowledge. And let's know that wherever we are, wherever we are, God is, or Spirit is. And so let's relax a little bit more. Again, you close your eyes if you'd like. Let's take a slow, deep breath in and out. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more and more grounded, more and more relaxed in this moment, in this new moment. So I'd like to invite you to imagine yourself standing in this radiant golden light. It's warm, it's soothing, and alive with creative energy. It surrounds you completely, but it also flows within you. It's not something outside of you, it is you. You, yes, you are a unique expression of this creative intelligence. You are an individualization of it, of this divine energy. Feel its presence as you breathe. Feel its presence in your breath. Feel its presence in your heartbeat and in the stillness of your mind. As you stand in this light, let yourself ask a question. Here's the question. What is the one area of my life where I am ready to experience healing? Again, ask yourself that question and notice what comes to mind, if anything. What is the one area of my life where I'm ready to experience healing? Trust the first answer that comes to you. Trust it. Don't force it. Just let it arise naturally. What area of my life? What one thing? What area am I ready to experience healing? And notice what comes up for you. What thought? What idea? Maybe it's your thinking. Could be something about a relationship. Could be a challenge, a physical challenge, something that's going on with your physical self. Whatever comes to mind, gently place it into this radiant light, allowing it to be transformed, knowing it's being taken care of. In this moment, realize that the healing is already happening just because you bring it into this light. And you know that you are one with this light. You are one with healing. The creative energy that flows through you knows exactly what to do. It doesn't need to fix, control, or force anything. All it needs is your willingness to allow. Your willingness to allow, your willingness to trust, and to say yes to your own wholeness. Because you're whole and you're complete. And you're the whole bit. So this creative power knows what to do. The creative energy is flowing through you. You're a part of it. It knows how to heal. It doesn't need you to push it or control it or force anything. It just needs your willingness and your trust, and say yes to your own wholeness. You could say, I'm whole, I'm one with the one, and I say yes to this. So let's take that breath in and affirm to yourself, I trust this creative energy within me to bring healing and harmony to my life. So feel the truth of all these words resonating within you. And now we move into expanding our realization. This sacred energy is not something that comes and goes. It's not reserved for special moments or special people. This energy is always present, always accessible, and always responding to your awareness of it. So the truth is, you're never separate from it. The same energy that moves the stars and grows the trees flows through you. You're not searching for healing. You are simply realizing. You are realizing healing and wholeness and unity right now. You are standing on holy ground right now because you are the expression of that holy energy. Again, please take that idea in. You are standing or you're sitting on holy ground right now because you are the expression of that holy energy. Yes, you. Louise often said, I'm safe in the universe, and all of life loves and supports me. That's a beautiful affirmation to repeat. I'm safe in the universe, and all of life loves and supports me. This wasn't just a comforting affirmation to her, it was a reminder of the great metaphysical truth. It's a reminder of this metaphysical truth. I'm one with the one. It's a reminder that you are already connected to the creative force of the universe. There's nothing missing. The realization of this truth changes everything. So just bring it in. Remind yourself of the truth of being that you are one with life. You are one with source energy. So finally, let's anchor this process together. Let's take another deep breath. Feeling this energy of healing, love, and creative intelligence flowing through us, and affirming together. The creative energy of the universe flows through me. I'm whole, I'm safe, and I'm standing on holy ground. Okay. You might try to remember that one. I'm whole, I'm safe, and I'm standing on holy ground. Feel the truth of it. Let it anchor itself in your heart, knowing that you carry this awareness with you. Carry this awareness with you all the time. And say this to yourself. Healing happens here in me. It's in me, operating through me. It happens now. Healing happens here. It happens now. It happens because it is who you are. And now that you've experienced this sacred energy within, let's explore how to live this truth. It's one thing to have a powerful realization, as many of us do as we practice this teaching, as we learn to live the affirmative life. So we really practice. We will have powerful realizations in our moments of reflection. But true transformation happens when we take this awareness and we practice it. We practice it in our everyday lives and living. So living the truth of I'm standing on sacred ground is the work we do. It means embracing this realization more and more, practicing it more and more in our thoughts, in our actions, in our relationships. Louise often reminded us that every moment is an opportunity for us to start again, to begin again, to think differently, to act differently, to love differently, and to be differently, to show up in a different way. When you realize that you are standing once again on sacred ground, I really want everyone to get that point, because you are one with the one. You are part and parcel of this power, and you realize that you're here standing on sacred ground and you're interacting with every encounter as a holy encounter. When you realize all this, every step you take, every interaction you have becomes an opportunity to experience the divine. As you're walking through your day or through your life, you're going to begin to understand every encounter is a holy encounter. And you're going to deeply understand what that means. And we're starting to see every moment and every person as spirit in action. So as you think about the things people are saying throughout your day, you'll realize more and more that's spirit in action. And you'll recount many of our other lessons where we understand that everyone is doing the best that they can with the information, the understanding, and the awareness they have. So it's all spirit in action. A Course in Miracles teaches us that every encounter is a holy encounter. So what would it be like for you if you walk through your day and walk through your life knowing this to be true, knowing that all is well? I would imagine you wouldn't be so upset about so many things, because you would know everything is in divine order and everything is unfolding in perfect order. What if you could walk through your life knowing this to be true? What if at every moment you realize every person and every experience was spirit or source or creative intelligence in action? This would mean nothing is random, nothing's really happening by mistake, and you would realize that no one's separate from this sacred energy, not even you. So it begins with us, right? And then once we learn to love ourselves, it becomes much easier to extend that to other people. Even the people who frustrate you, the person who frustrates you, is spirit in action. The person who lifts you up, that's spirit in action also. The person who sees you, the person you see in the mirror every morning, that's spirit in action as well. When you begin to realize this, life changes. It changes very quickly, very rapidly, because you're going to understand what those of us who have been in the teaching a while, it's all God, or it's all spirit, it's all source. Again, when you realize this, life changes. You stop pointing fingers. You really have not so much to say anymore about many things, because you'll understand that we're all in the right place at the right time, and we're all growing as we're learning. And you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what is spirit inviting me to see or learn here? Because everything is a learning experience. So when you're in a situation that, again, that question, what is spirit inviting me to see or learn here? I used to call my father with all my challenges or problems each day, and he would say, what exciting challenges do you have today? And as you start to have this teaching more and more, you're going to see things differently. You're going to say, well, what's coming up here? What is the lesson here? What is spirit inviting me to see or learn here? These kinds of shifts in perspectives transform how we engage with life, turning every encounter into an opportunity to grow, to heal, and to connect. See, if you bring it back to yourself, you won't make it about the other person. You think, oh, okay, what am I creating this to be? What am I creating this person to be? So how do we embrace more of this truth in our day-to-day living? How do we embrace sacred practices in everyday life? Well, that's what I'll talk about now. The first thing to do is look at your thinking. Always examine your thinking. It's the reason I ask every week, what's it been like being you? Because I really am wanting everyone to start noticing, to take inventories a little bit more, to be mindful of what you're thinking and what you're saying to yourself, because that ultimately is reflected in your life. So let's look at our thoughts. Every thought is an instruction to the creative energy within you. Think about that. Your thoughts are powerful. They are instructions to the creative energy within you. So it isn't just about positive thinking. It's about recognizing that your thoughts are part of the divine flow. When you catch yourself dwelling on anger or doubt, pause. Take that pause, and you might ask yourself, am I seeing this as a holy encounter? What would change if I did see it as a holy encounter? Um, these kind of questions, this simple question can bring clarity and peace, even in the most challenging moments. So next, let's talk about how we treat our bodies. If you're standing on holy ground, and you know that you're one with the One. Then it's obvious that your body is part of this. It's part of this sacred expression called you. Are you caring for it? Is a question. Are you caring for your body as the miraculous creation that it is? Healing happens. Today's topic. Healing happens when we choose better ways to nourish our bodies. When we nourish our bodies with love, whether that's through movement, rest, or the foods we eat. Louise often spoke about placing her hands on your body and simply saying, she did it with the mirror, or also putting your hands on your body and saying to yourself, I love you. Simple acts like this can shift your relationship with your physical self and open the door to more healing. And finally, let's talk about how we engage with others. Imagine, if you could, approaching every relationship, every interaction with the awareness that this is a holy encounter. Imagine if you thought of everyone as spiritual beings. But in our relationships, you had the awareness that this is a holy encounter. If you could do that, how might you respond differently to difficult conversations or challenging situations if you could put in the forefront of your mind that this is a holy encounter? How might you show up differently for someone you care about, or even someone you struggle with, if you could have in the forefront of your consciousness, this is a holy encounter? When we meet others with this kind of awareness, this type of consciousness, we are inviting the sacred into everything, to every relationship. So here's a deeper truth to consider. We're not separate from the sacred energy. You can't be. You're part of it. You're not separate from it, and neither is anyone else for that matter. Again, you're not separate from Source, and neither is anyone else. So there's a need, there's a call for us to have greater realization, to realize that we're living, moving, and we're having our being in the Source energy. And we're standing on holy ground, and we're interacting with other spiritual beings. When we have this realization, this knowledge, every moment becomes an opportunity for us to connect with the divine that's within us and to see it in others. Healing happens not just when you sit in meditation. Healing happens when you choose to see every experience, every encounter as spirit in action. Again, think about one area in your life where you'd like to bring in more love, more intention, or more healing. Could be a relationship, a goal, or even a way you speak to yourself. What one small step might you take? One small thing might you do to live the truth of, I'm standing on holy ground? What one area could you bring that awareness into? Maybe it's pausing to listen a little bit more deeply to someone you care about. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for something, or simply showing gratitude for ordinary moments. Whatever it is, know that this one step can shift everything, because it's not about the size of the step. It's about the awareness that you bring and you take when you take the step. So let's affirm together. I walk through life knowing that every encounter is a holy encounter. Spirit flows through me, and I know I'm standing on holy ground in every moment. So another deep breath, letting this truth come into our beings, letting it inform all of our being, letting us know that we're standing on holy ground, not just here, not just now, but in every encounter, in every relationship, and in every moment of our lives. So that's it. As we come to close our time together, Let's reflect for a moment on the journey, on what we've discussed. We begin by recognizing that healing isn't something we search for outside of ourselves ever. It's something that we realize within. We realize it through the sacred energy that flows through us and the understanding that we're always standing in the right place at the right time, that we're individualizations of this energy. We've explored this evening what it means to embrace ourselves and to embrace this truth in every moment. In every moment. And Louise reminds us time and time again that the point of power is always in this moment. That power, that creative energy, it's here with you now. It's in the breath you just took. It's in the thoughts you're holding. And it's in the willingness you've shown tonight to explore, to think about things that you want to release. It's in you, in the willingness that you have to begin again. New moments with relationships, with people and circumstances. This is your moment. This is your sacred ground. This is your holy encounter with life itself. So, whatever came up for you tonight, let's bring to mind one realization, one feeling, or an action step maybe that stood out for you tonight. Maybe it's the idea that you're never ever separate from this creative source. Maybe it's the realization that every encounter is a holy encounter. What came up for you tonight? Or perhaps it's the simple truth that it's never too late to begin again. Whatever it is that came up for you tonight, whatever came to mind, because you're being guided by Spirit, whatever it is, hold it in your heart and let it guide you forward. Let me remind you, the journey doesn't end here. What you experience tonight is just a beginning of deeper awareness. As you move through the days ahead, remember that every thought you think, every step you take, and every interaction you have is an opportunity to live the truth of sacred ground. Spirit is always in you, operating through you, always in action, always flowing through you. So let's anchor it all with a closing affirmative prayer. I know that there's one infinite power, one creative energy that moves through all things and expresses itself as me, as you, and as all of life. This sacred energy is always present, always available, always creating according to our highest intention. In this beautiful moment, I affirm and I know that each of us is standing on holy ground, supplied and supported, made sacred by the awareness that Spirit is flowing through us. I release any thoughts of limitation, fear, or doubt, knowing that we are free to create lives of healing, love, and purpose. I affirm that every encounter is a holy encounter. Every step we take is guided by wisdom, and that healing happens here. It happens now and always. And so it is. So thank you all for being here. I invite you to carry this awareness into the week. We're going to turn the microphones over to you. The camera's on. If you're new, please say you're new. It'd be nice if you say where you're from. We'd love to see how our circle is expanding. Thank you for supporting the work we do. And so we'll see you at the other side of in just a moment. Thank you.